What would you do if you borrowed something precious and then, by accident, broke it? Would you hide it and hope no one noticed? Or would you walk back and say what happened? This is the story of a boy named Rohan and a drum and the bravest walk he ever took. It was 3 days before Dussehra in the village of Sundarpur, and every lane smelled of marigolds and coconut oil. The children had been practicing their procession for weeks. They would march from the temple to the banyan tree, singing and playing instruments, and the whole village would watch. Rohan was 9 years old, quick-eyed and quick-footed, and he had one very large problem. The procession needed a doll, a big double-sided drum, and Rohan's family did not own one. "Amma, we need a drum. Our procession will sound like clapping hands without a drum. Everyone will laugh at us. Can we borrow one? Please, Amma." Rohan's mother, Amma, thought for a moment, then smiled. She knew just the person. "Go to Mani Kaka, next lane. He has a beautiful old doll. His father's and his grandfather's before that. Ask him politely. And Rohan, if he says yes, you treat that drum as if it were made of gold. It is not yours." Rohan ran gay. He knew Mani Kaka well, the old man who sat in the doorway in his white dhoti, always ready with a sweet or a story for the neighborhood children. "Mani Kaka, namaskar. Our procession needs a doll for Dussehra. Ours is broken. May we please borrow your drum? I will carry it myself. I will take very good care of it. I promise." "That drum has been in my family for 60 years, Rohan. My father played it. My grandfather played it. It has been in 3 Dussehra processions. You may borrow it, because I trust you. Keep it away from rain. Keep it away from sharp edges, and bring it back to me as you received it." Rohan carried the big red and gold doll home on his back, holding it as if it was something sacred. He did not let anyone else touch it. He wrapped it in an old cloth at night. He kept it on the high shelf, away from his younger sister's fingers. The day of the procession came. The lane was full of color, orange marigold strings, children in new clothes, the smell of agarbati drifting from open doorways. Rohan wore his yellow kurta and felt as tall as the coconut palms. He beat the drum, and the procession came alive. Boom, doom, 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 doom. The sound rolled through every lane. People came to their doorways to watch. Old ladies clapped. Small children ran alongside, shrieking with delight. And then, near the turning by the old neem tree, 2 boys racing each other ran smack into Rohan from behind. Rohan stumbled. He grabbed at a wall with one hand. The drum, swinging on its strap, swung wide and hit the corner of the stone wall. There was a sound like a slap. The procession carried on. No one noticed in the noise. But Rohan stopped. He held the drum in front of him and looked. A crack ran across the right skin of the drum, small but clear and clean as a knife cut. "No, dun, un, until, miss. No, no, no. Mani Kaka's drum. His grandfather's drum. The drum that has been in 3 Dussehra processions." His heart was hammering. The crack was not enormous. Maybe Mani Kaka would not notice. Maybe if he returned it quickly and put it on the shelf in the dim light of the doorway and said nothing. But even as that thought came to him, Rohan felt something in his chest go cold and heavy. He had made a promise. And he knew, when you damage something borrowed and say nothing, the lie sits inside you like a stone. It does not go away. He carried the drum home. He put it on the table very quietly. His Amma looked at him and saw his face at once. "What happened?" "I was knocked from behind. The drum swung. It hit the wall. Amma, there is a crack. I didn't mean it. I held it so carefully. I don't know what to do." "You know what you have to do, Rohan. You tell him. You did touch scene. Today. Not tomorrow, today. Accidents happen. But hiding an accident, that is a choice. That is the part that matters. It was the hardest night Rohan had ever spent. He lay awake, imagining Mani Kaka's face, his grandfather's drum, 60 years, 3 Dussehra procession, and now a crack on the right skin. In the morning, Rohan woke before the birds. He lifted the drum carefully, carried it out into the golden morning light, and walked to the next lane. His feet felt like stones. His throat felt smaller than usual. He knocked on Mani Kaka's door. He heard slow footsteps. The door opened, and there was the old man with the silver stubble and the kind, dark eyes. Rohan, you are early. How was the procession? Mani Kaka, the procession was good. But something happened. Near the neem tree, 2 boys knocked into me and the drum swung and hit the wall. There is a crack on the right skin. I am so sorry. It was your grandfather's drum. I kept my promise as long as I could. I came to tell you the truth and to fix it. Mani Kaka said nothing for a long moment. He took the drum from Rohan's hands. He turned it in the light. He ran one thumb gently along the crack. This drum has lived through monsoons and festivals for 60 years. I always knew it would crack someday. I just did not expect a small boy to walk here in the early morning to tell me about it before I had even asked. Rohan blinked. He had expected anger. He had prepared for shame. He had not prepared for the old man's eyes going soft like that. You know what my father told me, Rohan? He said, anyone can be honest when it is easy, but only a person with a good heart is honest when it costs them something. You kept the drum safe through the whole procession. You did not run. You did not hide. You came. That is not a small thing, boy. And then together, they took the drum to the instrument maker 3 lanes away, and Rohan spent the coins he had been saving for a kite, every last one, to have the skin repaired. It took 2 days. When it was done, the drum was as good as before, and perhaps, in Rohan's eyes, more beautiful for the repair. When he returned it, Mani Kaka pressed a sweet into his hand and said nothing more. But the next Dussehra, and the one after that when the procession needed a drum, Mani Kaka himself carried it to Rohan's door. Because that is what trust looks like, little ones. It is not about never making a mistake. It is about what you do right after the mistake happens. The one who hides a crack lets it grow. The one who admits it can mend it. And that is the story of Rohan and the borrowed drum. If you liked it, give Grandpa a thumbs up and tell me in the comments. Have you ever had to return something you accidentally broke? Subscribe for a new story every week. Sleep well, little ones.